What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Commons here at Chilling with Kenny C. Very excited to be here with you all this evening. Joining me at this time is two men representing the Boston band known as Paper Tigers, Matthew and Mike. Joining me on behalf of the band right here, right now. How's it going, fellas?
So, thanks for having us, Kenny. Appreciate it, man. It's good to be here.
Great to have you on. So this is the first time I have Paper Tigers on this show. Big shout out to a good friend of yours by the name of Hannah for introducing me to this incredible band. And then the kicker is that before I pressed the record button, me and my Matt was having a chat beforehand, and my mind was blown because little less than a year ago, I interviewed an artist by the name of Eric, and that individual is just so happens to be part of Paper Tigers, and he's actually on the Zoom with me. So my mind is blown, and Hannah probably should have given a brother a heads up or something, or maybe this is just the element of surprise that was on display. So it is what
No,
it
I had a
is.
lot of fun on this podcast or the cast. So I was like, this is a great opportunity to just branch out with a different project, and
Yeah. Yeah, so with all that being said, since this is my first time having Paper Tigers on here, let's get to know the band a little bit. Now, obviously, I'm familiar with your solo work, but now that we got the band here, at least two members. Just talk about how did Paper Tigers got together? How did they came to be, per se?
Sure. I moved to Boston from DC in 2018, and I've been in bands in DC for many years. And I just kind of gave it up in 2012. That was my last band, broke up in 2012, and I was just kind of over music and being in bands, and I just put that kind of behind me a little bit. But when I moved to Boston, I thought, what's a great way to meet people and like kind of start an instant clique or family and like have really good, solid friends right away. I was like, I'll start a band. That's like, it's kind of what I know. So I put an ad on Craigslist and found each one of the guys through trial and error and a lot of, a lot of different auditions from one by one. And we got Matt and Bjarki and Cuddy to where we are now.
Yeah, I was just like, I was in another band called the Sunset Kings, and I was just like wanted to explore the bass a little bit, and I just like reached out on like a Facebook forum, and these guys were looking for a bass player. So I was just like, they had already started to form like, a little bit before, like a few weeks before, and I met these guys, and these guys have been an absolute blast to be around. Sense of community is great, and they just shared a passion of writing some good old rock and roll. So
it was a real good fit when Matt joined. We just he was the last puzzle piece that just kind of fit into place, and thankfully he joined the band, and we are where we are now because of him and Cuddy and Bjarki. But it worked out really well because there's such a sense of like discombobulated music in Boston, or at least there was at the time. And it was really like we struck gold when we found these guys because we have different like musical tastes and backgrounds and stuff, but we have enough in common that it made such a really good, interesting fit. Because you see a lot of the other bands that are in Boston and they're just so different and diverse and not in the vein of music that we play necessarily. So to find these three other guys I clicked with was like, like lightning in a bottle, man. It was really, really lucky.
Yeah, and you mentioned Craigslist now.
Mm-hmm.
Craigslist does tend to get a bad rap for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But in your case, it worked out well.
Yeah.
So, it's just
I have killer.
I put an ad like man seeking man, and it worked out really great. It worked out really well. So
man seeking man. Oh man.
It could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, definitely could have, but I'm glad it worked out well. And at least in some instance, Craigslist can be good things. Just
Oh yeah.
Just matter
Yeah.
of getting the right person to fit
Yeah.
the band per se. So I
Yeah.
definitely enjoy. I've had a chance to hear this record that you did. I think it was released last year. And so well, Hannah introduced me to you fellas, and I got a chance to listen. Very, very unique sound.
Cool.
I tend to be very fond of Bostonians in their music per se. I have a good track record with Boston music, interviewing some indie artists from that particular city.
Cool.
So as far as this record, now that it's been out for a while and people have gotten to listen to it, how do you fellas feel about this record being out and the reception that y'all see?
Good. Yeah, I think we've gotten some good feedback from people that we trust that tell us that they like the music, and the reception from the general public. It's been, I haven't noticed to what they think. It's more just kind of like friends and family and friends of friends who've given us feedback. The reception at shows has been really good, but as far as direct feedback from the songs from the album, it's just kind of people in your circles that kind of tell you what they think. But I don't know, maybe Matt has a different experience than I do.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Like every single time that we release something, I'm always like in this mindset of, okay, what's next? Putting this, even though we should be focusing forward with this record, I'm like, oh, what's the next one we're gonna record? Because we plan our EPs like what, like 2-3 at a time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're recording the next EP right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I mean, like the songs that we release now are like behind what we've are writing, I mean, and planning to record. So I'm always just like every single time we release something, I'm always like, okay, what's the next one? How are we gonna like improve our situation? How are we gonna end on our creativities and stuff like that?
That's true. We actually play catch up with our recording because we, up until this next EP that we're recording right now, the one after that, we're actually in the middle of writing. The way it's been so far is that we had such a back catalog of music that we would just pick, 3 or 4 of the best songs, record those. And then while we're waiting to record the next EP, we're writing even more music. So we're constantly playing catch up when we're recording these EPs, that we have such a back catalog of music to choose from. But now we're getting to the point where with this next EP that we're recording, we're like pretty much caught up. So we're currently writing the music for the next EP after that right now. So it's we are always forward thinking and looking forward to the next project because we have such a full plate right now. I'm really, really lucky that we have so much going on, so many irons in the fire right now. But we're always just looking to the next project, the next thing, the next release, the next single, that kind of thing. So we've been really fortunate that way.
Yeah, I like that approach. As far as trying to determine what's the next move musically per se, and with all these songs that you feel us been working on and digesting and trying to figure out. I think that's definitely a good problem to have. It's like we got these songs, and they feel good. They it's just everything's just a matter of where you want to release them on, whether they should be part of a particular EP or so forth, or album per se. So I like your approach to it, and it definitely keeps your fans, your listeners, your supporters engaged per se. They definitely are in for plenty of more music from Paper Tigers, from what I've heard.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool because like the how we've been releasing it, like this current release that we're doing, we're totally lining it up in tandem with Boston Calling, because we got the opportunity to play at this festival, and so it just like fell in line with what we were doing at the time, and we're like strategically releasing our EP based on kind of like the whole lead up to Boston Calling. So it's been kind of a cool experience. All these like releases are kind of like opening up other doorways and stuff, and giving us kind of new meanings to record or write new music or whatever.
Yeah, so definitely be on the lookout for more music from Paper Tigers. But in the time being, you can check out their latest release, Sheen Catu.
Schism.
Schism Cataclysm. Yep.
Yeah, so that's the latest EP. It's
Yep.
available on all the platforms. Go give that a listen. It's a 5-song EP, and so yeah, show your support. They got more music on the way for you, for the fans out there. So sit tight, it's coming. But just keep streaming those the latest EP, and tell people about it. Like, obviously, you love good music, you admire it, you appreciate good music. But what's the point of this good music if you can't share it to other people? You know, no need to be selfish. You know, spread the word. You know, spread it out there. So as far as Paper Tigers, how did y'all came up with the name Paper Tigers? There's a story behind that particular name.
Yeah, I mean, not a great story, but we we basically, when we started as a band, I kept like a list of possible band names that I've always wanted to use, and we were like tossing around ideas back and forth, and it got to the point where we were just like not landing on anything that we could all agree on. So I started going through this list that I've been saving, and I'm like, how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? And we're like, no, that sucks. No way. I forget that. Blah, blah. Then finally we got down to Paper Tigers. We're like, all right, Paper Tigers. Like, we all collectively didn't hate it that much. Like, none of us, I think, like love the band name, but we're just like, it was the point where we're just like, either we were just exhausted from arguing about it, or we just finally like decided enough. Let's just go with that band name. So we just landed on that one.
True.
Hey, I like the name. I really do.
Cool. Cool. Glad to hear.
Very, very unique name. And
I love the meaning of it. What's the meaning? Outwardly strong, inwardly weak.
So yeah, exactly. So like you put on this like fierce outwardly appearance, but inside you're just big old softy, which is pretty apt. I mean, we our music's heavy and loud and fast, but we're really just like sweet guys. So it seemed fitting.
And I do also notice that with this new music on the horizon, you fellas got some shows lining up, got some shows coming up. So talk about those shows, and where can where can they catch Paper Tigers in the coming weeks or so?
Yeah, if you go to our website, papertigersusa.com, we've got all of our upcoming shows on there, and you can even see like all the past shows that we played. Got all of our like really great information, and we really want to encourage people to go to our website and check it out, because we put so much hard work into it. It's such an awesome website. But you can see all our upcoming shows. But this upcoming Saturday, the 12th, we're playing Thirsty First in Lowell, Mass, with some really great bands. And so that's going to be a really good show. It's being presented by Mark Skin Radio. So it should, and that place always like sells out, and they have like a really good built-in crowd. So we're really excited for that show this day after tomorrow. It's going to be big.
PaperTigersUSA.com is the website. Go check it out. Got the music in there, upcoming shows. If you're in the Lower Mass area this coming Saturday, go check it out. Support some talented local acts, and spread the word about that as well. Paper Tigers, definitely a incredible band from what I've heard. And when Hannah likes your music, I'm gonna like your music too. So and just
our number one fan.
Yeah, shout out to Hannah. What's up?
Yeah. Much love to Hannah. This whole Zoom thing, I think the last time I had you on was last year under a different name. It was a call-in, and it was a short notice too, because I think I had a guest dropped out or something like that. So I reached out to Hannah and like, Hannah, you know somebody that might be able to fill the spot on a short notice, and said, "Break, I got somebody," and I ended up liking this music too. So
Nice.
it's just, man, the support I get, the help, the assistance I get, it's incredible. So as far as this band per se, um, people talk about influences, inspirations, and maybe bands or something in particular. How would you describe, like, man, who do you best, who's more influential as it pertains to this band? It could be local, could be mainstream, but from Paper Tiger's perspective, who inspired you, fellas, as far as the music that you have on display?
I think Matt would probably be the best person to answer that because he and Bjarke and Cuddy write the actual music. And then afterwards, I come in and kind of like try to add a melody to it and write lyrics. But the four of us, and Matt, I'll get into this more than I can. The four of us have such diverse backgrounds in musical tastes. Like we all have like completely opposite tastes from one another. And luckily we found some common ground to make it work. But like, Matt, you probably tell him better than I could.
Well, the thing is with like Cuddy and I is me and him have actually found that we like a lot of the same bands. And like, I think we really liked a lot of the rock bands from the mid 2000s. So like kind of like post hardcore and stuff like that. But Bjarke is, he's 100% like all for like English rock. So like we kind of like combine all these like little influences. Me and Cuddy, we're kind of like the foundation of the music. Cuddy's drums and bass. We communicate a lot when we play. So it's really cool that me and him can link up in a way, from having like this kind of like similar influence in the music. So it's very easy for me and him to link up. And then, Bjarke just loves all this like effect driven rock that's really cool, and he's into the gear. And so part of his influence, albeit from the music, it also comes from a lot of the I would say like YouTube videos. So you got like he watches a lot of stuff on gear, and just like the mechanics of how like pedals work and stuff. So he draws in a lot of influence from that. And Mike, what is like lyrically, like what is your like influence?
So I was really I kind of grew up in the 90s on like Brit rock and grunge and that kind of stuff. So like, the whole Oasis, Blur, Pulp, Suede, that kind of movement from the 90s really sunk into me the most. I also really love Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Like when grunge first came out in like the very early 90s, that was a big influence on me. So, but I try to like, I think like whether it's intentional or it's subconscious, I don't know, but I'm really kind of driven to like a lot of Oasis lyrics where they're kind of contrary and nonsensical, but they really kind of make you think about what is the intention of the message behind the songs. I don't like to be too direct and obvious with my lyrics. I kind of want like, and I didn't even really like to explain what the songs mean because I think it takes away from the ownership of the listener. So if you hear one of our songs and you're like, oh man, it sounds like he's talking about this, or it sounds like he's talking about that, then you take ownership of that. That means something special to you. But if I come out and I say, no, it's actually about like, grocery shopping or something stupid, you're gonna be like, oh, that song sucks now. That's terrible. So I like to keep my lyrics vague, but with a general overarching kind of message. And that's really influenced from like Brit rock. So a lot of those like 90s British rock bands for sure.
I definitely really started to listen to rock more into the 90s, back when MTV actually played music videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And just seeing the visual per se. That definitely, I mean, it still is the visual to this day, but man, you go back to the 90s though,
yeah, man.
the 80s, in particular, like you really get that visual and definitely makes you feel like you can relate to this song. So I mean, I grew up with Incubus. I
Nice.
grew
Yeah.
up, Nirvana, obviously, and Oasis, and that list goes on and on per se. I've become more of a mu metal person these days, but every
Interesting.
now and then I'll be into the alternative. Just depends how I feel per se, but
Sure.
you know, but I just love music in general. I'm a unicorn at this point in my life. Whatever mood I'm feeling at the time, I just go along with that and vibe with it. So I'm joined with Matt and Mike of Paper Tigers. Go check out the latest EP is on all the platforms. Go check out their upcoming shows. PaperTigersUSA.com is their official
Yeah.
website. All the music's on there, the photos, and just anything you want to know about this band. So go check it
Absolutely.
out. And it's a very cool website too. Very, very cool.
Cool.
So shout out to the individual who put the website together. It's very, very nice. And it's great to have y'all on tonight, man. I appreciate you fellas being on. You tell the rest of the bandmates I say hello. And I say once the new record is out, let's do this again, and
Yeah.
hopefully Ben
Absolutely.
can join us as well. But I appreciate you fellas. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for the time, man. It's fun.
The music is incredible. And y'all also incredible human beings too. So
Right back at you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, much
respect the Paper Tigers, and y'all enjoy your night, enjoy the rest of your weekend, be safe out there, and
Same
have
here,
a
man.
great show this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. It's been a blast.
Absolutely, man. That is Matt and Mike, Paper Tigers, joining me on Chilling with Kenny C. Go check them out. Again, the website, papertigersusa.com for more details. So
Respect.
just gonna wait by.
Thanks, Kenny.
Much love. Yes, sir.